Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. You are looking live on a man who is the Steve Tasker of this show because he can do it all. It's Megastar Mark.
Hey,
this is Megastar Mark. Yeah, but you look confused. You look upset that Steve Tasker and I are associated.
Wasn't that the name of your dog?
It was the name of I did name a dog of mine Tasker.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
I did. And I fought hard for this new dog to be called Bilbo Baggins. And wife didn't like the name Bildo. I don't understand why. So now it's Rex.
Dildo Baggins?
Bildo Baggins.
Bildo,
which is the affectionate name Buffalo Bills fans give the dildos they throw. Bildo Baggins.
Oh.
Listen, my last name is related to that. So I mean, it sounds like it. And not related to dildos, but related to Baggins. Sounds like it. So I thought it was
good
clever.
Old Marcus Dildo.
Yep, you got it. Marcus Marital Aid.
Marcus Dildo.
Marcus 12-inch vibrating marital aid. You got it.
Oh,
my family came from Ireland. It's a good old Irish name.
That's from the old country. I'm also here with my other co-host. He's the Frank Wycheck of the show because when I need him, he's always there. It's Greg.
Hey.
Greg 17.
And definitely behind the line of scrimmage.
And most definitely on sides.
Let's go to the footage. Let's go frame by frame. Like this is
whatever we do.
We can do that. That's not a problem.
I know.
Oh my gosh. We got a great show for you previewing the season one more week.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. Previews.
Yes.
Is this it? Next week's the season, right?
September.
Yeah, right.
So the next show we do,
it's the 8th or 9th.
It's the 8th.
Yeah, it's a week from this. Well, we'll give it away. We're recording on Tuesday night. It's a week from this Thursday. Yeah.
All right. So we're this might be the last preview, right?
Yeah.
Previews are the best because we can't be wrong.
I know. It's fantastic.
Can't be wrong.
I am wrong a lot.
We're about to be a lot wrong.
We have an entire week of infallibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gods. You can't touch us. We're going to go over some news. We're going to talk a little bit about our fantasy football drafts that we just did. We're going to do our playoff predictions. And Mark, are you going to do your segment?
So I'm going to save it for next week. I'm going to save it for literally episode 1, a quote unquote official one. When we actually start going through the season. I had it kind of ready, but I want to spend some time on it. I want it to be really good. So.
Okay,
Ryan,
I like that.
I'm going to toot your horn for a second. On your other podcast, a segment to be named later that lasted 400 episodes. That's a good bit.
A segment to be named later.
Yeah,
good bit. That works.
Now, I think it's not dead.
Only good with commitment. Do you not do it now in the new one?
We don't make mistakes anymore. Mm-hmm. No, we make mistakes.
Perpetual preview.
Segment to be named later also became like the president's game. Like,
oh no,
let me name all the presidents. It went off the rails.
It's just fun facts about presidents.
Mm-hmm. President facts.
That was funny.
Right. Let's change the whole format again. All right. Quick news recap. Jimmy Garoppolo, this guy.
Oh my God.
This fucking guy.
How did this happen?
This fucking guy. Explain what happened.
Yeah, I feel like both sides just got tired of fighting each other and they said like, well, I guess we'll do it one more year.
Why?
Yeah, right. It benefits the Niners in case, I mean, it really does. He's fine as a backup. And that's kind of where I see him moving forward is kind of like that high tier backup, maybe somebody who can compete for a job. I don't see it. Jimmy Garoppolo has had every chance to take a team to the Super Bowl and win it. And he hasn't done it. And you can't give him more talent around him. So it seemed like just a marriage of convenience. Like, yeah, let's do it one more year, whatever. We promise we won't franchise you. You can go wherever you want next year, just in case this new guy sucks. Let's just do it one more year.
I mean, you make a compelling argument, I suppose. But if I was him, I would they don't want him. They obviously don't want him.
Did you see the price, the pay cut he took to do this?
Was it nothing?
He was going to get paid $24 million had he been under his original contract. He is now getting paid $6 million.
So the options where he gets waived, right?
Where he can go wherever.
And then but then he has to have a new contract.
Right.
So that $24 million was never coming to him no matter what.
I don't know if it was guaranteed or not.
Unless another team picked up part of the salary, maybe that would have been the only way, I think, right?
Well, not if he got released, though. If he got released, then he can just, if he got traded, sure. But very confusing. Do the Niners not have faith? I mean, I don't understand why you're. I feel like this is sabotaging your plan here.
It's sabotaging Trey Lance, right?
Right, it is. It's like you have to. I also hope they talked to him about this before they did this. Like, hey, man, the guy who has been keeping you on the bench, and the guy we're moving on from, he's gonna stick around for a while. Is that cool? Like, I mean, he had to be on board with that, right? You can't just make that move without talking to him.
It's like inviting your new girlfriend over while you're still living with your ex.
What if Trey Lance sucks?
Just there on the couch.
What if Trey Lance is not good in the first 3 weeks and they're 0-3?
Yeah. Right.
They
what
just
happens?
replace him?
Right.
You got to go to the Jimmy G, and then you just at that point, though, if you go 0-3 with Trey Lance and then you replace him, that's it. He's done. You can't do that. You're basically Tua-ing him.
Yeah.
So you can't do that shit.
The great experiment.
Yeah.
Jimmy G also has a no trade clause, which is just bizarre.
Niners just.
He just really doesn't want to go to the Texans.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no way he wouldn't be the next Texans
No
quarterback.
Seahawks,
Yeah.
no Texans. Please.
Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy G would go to the Seahawks.
Maybe.
Yeah. Him and Pete Carroll probably would get along fairly well. That
Yeah.
disgusting subhuman piece of trash.
We're gonna hate on Pete Carroll all
I
year. It's
am
gonna be great.
very much going to hate on Pete Carroll every chance I get.
Can't wait till they lose a lot. It's gonna.
Let me tell you about his losing too. Like he's obviously that whole team is being sabotaged this year to fail, right? They're trying to get CJ Stroud, they're trying to get Bryce Young, one of those guys.
Yes.
I don't even think he's going to hold up the facade past week 4. Like he's just going to trot out, not even Geno Smith, not even Drew Lock. He's going to find whatever third or fourth stringer guy he has in the practice squad, throw him in there. He has no shame.
Let me ask you guys your opinion. What do you think of tanking?
Do it. I don't hate it.
Players won't do it.
Well,
No?
you tank creatively. You put players out there and you make them play hard, but you put bad players out there and then they don't win.
Right. Like
That's what you
player
do.
himself, though, will never throw a game.
Right. You don't throw a game. You just put bad guys out there to
Yeah.
lose.
Oh, I would throw a game
That's what I was saying. Like
in a
some guys
heartbeat. Not even not throw a game, but there's no way I'm trying hard.
Right.
Didn't Doug Peterson do this and everyone revolted and that's kind of what got him fired from Philadelphia? Where he benched who did he bench?
Yeah.
He benched Carson Wentz or something.
Good move.
And he benched
secret
Carson
success.
Wentz. They could have went to the playoffs or they could have won another game or gotten close or something, but their odds were long. So he benched Carson Wentz and they lost to get a better draft pick. And everybody was pissed off at him. And that's kind of when he lost the team.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, you got it.
What's the incentive to be 7-10?
Mm-hmm.
It's off.
Really?
You don't want to be 7-10.
Right. You don't. You get that weird 14th, pick in the draft where you don't got any of the top tier talent, but you're still gonna have to pay a ton of money for it. Like being the 15th pick in the NFL draft I'd rather just not have the pick.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to. You want to be bad. You don't want to be mediocre
right.
in the NFL. You don't want to be mediocre.
And when you're I don't know. I know teams have made dramatic turnarounds, but in both ways. But if you're 2-4 after 6 games, it's just at that point, I'm trying all the rookies.
Yeah. You're saying if you're the coach, if you're not a player, if you're the coach of this team.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That makes sense to me. I can totally understand a coach wanting to do that because especially, last year quarterback class, even halfway through the college football season, everyone realized this is going to be shit. This is not a good year for quarterbacks. This year, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, these are guys who've been hyped up for a while who look like they're NFL ready. If I'm the Seahawks, fuck Pete Carroll, but if I'm the Seahawks, this is your best possible solution because if you don't have a franchise quarterback, you ain't got nothing in the NFL. I think that's been proven over and over again. That's why the Bengals had their turnaround. They had a franchise quarterback all of a sudden. They went from worst to first. You tell me if Joe Burrow was not on that team, that franchise quarterback, would they have gone to the Super Bowl?
No chance.
No.
No.
Even on his back, he won those games.
Yeah, you have to take a swing. You have to take a chance. You have to get that franchise quarterback. It is franchise altering. So as a coach, I get wanting to be shitty, to take a swing if I don't got him. Because right now, Seattle, they ain't got him. It's not Drew Lock. It's not Geno Smith. It's nobody else on that team. So you have to hope that you get a high pick and take one of those guys and they work out. It's all a crapshoot, but you got to take a chance.
Okay. Jimmy G, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's an awkward situation. That's for sure. Very bizarre. He's going to play. There's a very good possibility Trey Lance does not play well.
Do you realize how little football that man has played? You know, it's pretty shocking. Like, he does not have a lot of games. I think it's like 10, 11. So I'm not even joking, for his entire college career. That is obscene. And what we saw of him last year, not good. So I don't know. I don't like this whole like all in on Trey Lance thing. I think he seems like a good dude, which that takes you away, but that takes you quite a ways away. But man, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable with him.
No. We'll talk about him more in a minute. Because when we get into fantasy, I'll talk about how I drafted him, and now I'm very scared. Brian Robinson, Washington Commanders, running back, shot.
Oh, horrible.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
horrible
that.
story.
Unbelievable.
Poor dude.
Carjacking?
Yeah.
I very loosely hauled.
Yeah.
He
It was
should
a
be fine, though,
carjacking.
right?
Yeah, he got
He's
shot
out
in
of the hospital.
butt. He got shot in the butt and the knee, and the knee one went like in and out. It was amazing. Like, he didn't hit any bone, any
Oh my God.
major. A miracle, literally a miracle. I mean, that's amazing. Considering everything that's in the knee, just in and out. So that could have been a horrific story.
Yeah,
today.
so unfortunate.
Right. That could have been real bad.
Especially
Glad
the first year, you know.
glad he's out of the
he's probably
hospital.
out for the whole season at least, right?
No, they said he's going to play.
You get shot and still play?
They said he's going to play.
Guys, I got bad news for you. If I got shot, you're not seeing me for a year. I don't care if it's in and out. This trio is gonna be a duo for a while.
Once again, Greg brought out into his garden in his old-fashioned wheelchair.
I like how we have jokes that are now crossing.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
it's hard. It's hard to keep it straight.
No. I
podcast.
assume anybody who's listening to this podcast listens to our other podcast.
TGIF
Yes.
podcast. Check it out, where I confess that I stand in an open bathrobe staring out into my garden to the chagrin of my neighbors.
Go find that story. It's a good one. Yeah, we'll talk more about Brian Robinson in a minute.
Why did you
What we
also
talking
draft
about?
Brian
You also
Robinson?
draft
What the fuck are you doing over there? Read a news article, man.
It was before it happened. The
Did
day
you draft
of.
Matt Ariza too, Ryan, or
No.
what?
Oh God, no.
He's in that
Just-
one
just-
league that has
Just
punters.
draft based on who's ever in the news.
Whoever.
I
Worst
mean,
team
hey,
of
that's
all
how I
time.
built my stock portfolio for a minute. And I think that's doing pretty comparably to how Ryan Team is going to do.
I'm not good with money. There was a trade. The Panthers made a trade for Laviscus Chenault. I almost
Yeah.
didn't even put this on here. I
No.
don't think it matters.
I think it does matter. First off,
Okay.
I'm turning on the Panthers a little bit in a good way. In a good way.
Okay.
I like this team and how they're building it. Chenault, I think is his name, right? I mean, 600 yards his first 2 years. He's incredibly young, you know, and I remember him coming out of college, dynamic playmaker. I think him with Baker Mayfield. Baker scrambles a lot. He's kind of his safety valve. I think that's a great trade. I really do, Ryan.
They didn't give up.
They did
I'm
nothing.
assuming they didn't give up a lot because
Stack
they
of
just said,
doorknobs. Yeah,
they said draft compensation, but they didn't say what pick.
yeah, right. That's
Like,
7.
well, there's only 7 rounds. What
Right.
did they give up?
And the dude was a nominally high pick. Hold on. What was he in the second round? Hold on, I'm looking him up.
Not
While
sure.
you look it up, I'm going
Talk
to
amongst yourself.
tell you a headline here I'm reading.
Mm.
Gruden, as in John Gruden.
Oh, him. Him.
He's confessing that he is ashamed of those emails and that he wants to return to
Aw.
coaching.
Oh,
Great.
come on.
Yeah,
No one's gonna. Yeah.
fucked.
Come on.
You're an
So-
old man, dude. You don't get to change. Old dog doesn't change his spots. What's the phrase?
You got it. Nailed it.
That's it.
So-
Released in a statement, John Gruden says he feels bad about emails 2 years
Yeah.
after it found out. Yeah, okay.
feel bad. I'm a racist and
I feel
sexist.
bad that I
and-
lost my job.
So
Only 'cause I
sorry
got
that I
caught.
hate gay
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Sorry that I got
Um,
caught.
So Gruden, no chance of getting an NFL job. What would you think about like the XFL or the USFL, the two minor league or minor league?
Somebody
the two-
will
right.
give him a
Would
job.
would you think they'd risk the the negative backlash to have a real coach, a named coach for them?
Who cares? Who's backlashing the XFL?
Well, that's what I'm
XFL,
saying.
no. I say XFL, no, because The Rock owns the XFL now.
Right.
And The Rock is the most like image conscious person on the
Yes.
entire planet.
Good point.
There's no way he would. And also, I mean, he's not black. He's Samoan, right?
No,
black.
he's half.
His dad
He's
is
half
black.
black. Rocky.
Oh,
was
he's half black.
Rocky
Yeah.
Johnson was black.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for African Americans, but if someone blatantly hated who I was as a person, I would not be clamoring to give him
Right.
money.
Right.
True.
He's done. He's just, I didn't really like him before all this racist shit, to be honest. I thought the whole Chucky thing was overplayed. I thought he was very, even as an announcer, I didn't really enjoy him calling games. I thought he was just too Stephen A. Smith screamy for me. So, fine.
He
Just
was
let him
like
fade
too
away.
positive. That oddly enough, when he was an announcer, I thought like he just likes everybody.
Yeah,
And like he's like, oh, this quarterback, I could go to war with him. I don't know why he's a southern accent now, but I could go to war with him. And it's like, no, he's not good. He's like a third string fucking quarterback. Just say these people are bad. You're John Gruden. You're supposed to be scary.
He banged the drum for Nathan Peterman for a
Yeah,
long time.
He's like Peterman. He's great.
Yeah.
No, there are people that are bad at football, and you should be able to call them out.
Right.
Oh boy. Cut down day is coming up today. I think cut down day.
Yeah,
right.
Today's cut down day. Nobody really that important has been cut yet.
No,
I don't see that happening really.
Yeah, and it's also like who gets cuts down today. Like who your 53 are today is not who the 53 are going to be tomorrow, because there are going to be a lot of people claimed on waivers from different teams going to other teams, and you got to release the guy. So I mean, it won't be until it's maybe like Sunday night. Then you know who your team is going to be. Up until then, it is kind of a crapshoot.
We're talking about people like Sony Michel, guys on the downturns of their careers that are getting cut. So nobody really interesting has been cut.
No.
Okay, time for a little fantasy football talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys did your draft when? Friday?
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah, we sure did.
Friday. How did that go?
It was fun. So this is my first year, just to give all the listeners and viewers kind of a background. This is my first year in Greg's auction dynasty league, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's everything. Anything that you could qualify that as we do. There's a rookie snake draft. It's an auction league. It's a dynasty league.
It is the most complicated fantasy. I've been doing fantasy football since I was 21. It's the most complicated fantasy football league I've ever been in. There are rules upon rules upon rules. If I want to do something, I have to tell one guy who has to tell another guy, because everybody in the league ended up fucking each other at one point. So
it's so funny.
They all screwed each other over. So because of that, there's like safety valves in front of vault doors, in front of everything, where nobody can screw each other over anymore.
It's hysterical. And like nobody knows the rules.
Nobody knows. Yeah. Before the draft, Greg was just talking about things he wanted to change and like persuaded everybody. It was pretty fun. And now here's the thing. I do like everybody I associated with. Everybody there seemed very nice.
Okay.
Greg and I are, once again, for listeners, we're in our, mid to late 30s. Everybody else there was what? 15 years. Yeah. 10
they're
years,
like 45.
Yeah.
In that range.
They were older than us.
We're definitely the youngest people there.
Oh yeah. By a good margin. So, but it was a strange experience, but I really had a good time. I really enjoyed it. I've done auction leagues before, but it's always been online. So this one, being physically there, real fun.
The fact that we draft in person is probably my favorite part of that league.
Yeah. Right. And also, I was able to do some things that I've always wanted to do. Like I'm a big Daryl Mooney fan, and I was able to drive up that price on Greg really hard because I've been a huge fan of him for so long.
The end
Daryl Mooney.
So you're such a dick.
I know what you're going to bring up too.
Not
Which
only
I
did you do that, but
apologize.
you did it twice in a row.
I apologize to you at the end because I thought you were done. But go ahead. So before I'll tell him. So before the draft, Greg comes up to me. He's like, "There's a guy on Houston. I think he's a receiver. He's doing really well. I don't know his name though." I'm like, "Oh, that's Nico Collins, right?" And Greg's like, "Oh yeah." And I see Greg walk over and he underlines, Nico Collins. At the end of this draft, first off, people just left this draft, which was weird. I've never been a part of that either. People just got up and left. So by the end, it was just 4 of us.
It's a salary. So when they have a full team or they have no money, there's no reason to stay.
Right. And some people had kids too. And I get it. You got to get home. But so it was almost like a gentleman's agreement draft at the end where nobody was claiming anybody. It was just hey, I say Gabe Davis, $500K. And everyone's like, pass. And then you got Gabe Davis, and then you moved on to the next, just to kind of get it over with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I swear I heard Greg say he was done. Okay? That he was over. He had filled his draft. So I say, oh, Nico Collins to my team because I still need guys to fill in. And Greg gives me this look and just goes, "You asshole.
What are you doing? It's just the 2 of us. At this point, it's literally just say people you like and put them on your team.
Facing each other. Me and Greg are literally across the table from each other. And I'm like, Nico Collins, thinking that he's done. And I just fucked him. So.
Yeah. And about an hour earlier, I was so high on Daryl Mooney when we went over our fucking thing. And Mark's like, "No, I don't think he's that good."
Right. On the show. He was a big point of contention on Daryl Mooney.
Sure.
Did you call him out?
I think I did.
Oh,
Daryl
Mooney.
Him out. You said, "I think Daryl Mooney is a top 20 receiver."
No, you know what? I did not call him out because I bid up. I think you called him out and I bid up.
Yeah.
I bid
I
up.
want to pay $1.5 million for Daryl Mooney because of Mark.
Mark, who hates Daryl Mooney
who hates Daryl Mooney.
Said he sucks.
Listen, Greg, your team is fucking stacked.
I have the most fucked up team in the history of fantasy.
Do you want to read
football.
It off? Because
I haven't pulled up.
It is obscenely good.
So this is my starting roster.
But this is also Dynasty.
This is a dynasty.
Yeah.
My starting quarterback is Josh Allen. My 2 running backs are Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor.
What?
My 3 running backs or my 3 wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase.
What the hell?
It's amazing.
Were these people high when you were drafting?
I just had a ton of money, and I've been really good at picking up young people. I still have Josh Allen and Jonathan Taylor on the rookie contracts, so I'm paying them $1 million and $500K respectively.
Yeah.
And then Zach Ertz is my tight end. My defense is the 49ers.
Okay.
I mean,
and it doesn't matter who anybody else is. You should roll everybody.
I also have DeAndre Hopkins, which I paid $500K for. So I got
that was the last
for
pick.
$500K.
Yeah.
I got Darnell Mooney, your boy.
Mooney.
And then, the rest is inconsequential. But I have the number 1 quarterback. I have the number 1 and 3 running backs.
Yeah.
I have the number 1, 2, and 8 wide receiver.
Crazy. Wow. Just crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I will be.
Yeah. I have to win this league.
I'm rooting for you. Because I know I'm not going to win. So I inherited a team. Right.
That's the bad part. This is my 5th year in the league. I'm finally playing a team that I feel like I picked.
Right. You have to sift through a lot. If you're stuck under contracts like I am, the person who had this team ahead of me spent a shit ton of money on Ezekiel Elliott and Michael Thomas, who hasn't played in 2 years, and Ezekiel Elliott, who is just given up on life.
It's a $30 million league.
Yeah.
Minimum contract's $500K. But Mark has over $10 million tied up in those 2 players he just named.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott and Michael Thomas, which means the other 19 roster spots need to be filled with the remaining 200 or 20 million.
Right. So my strategy going in was to get those younger guys. Even if they weren't good this year, I was hoping that I can get them at low contracts this year, solidify it and move on. I'm not playing for this year. I'm building this franchise from the ground up, so we're going to trust the process. We're going to take one step at a time. We're going to bring in the right people for this, and maybe in a couple of years we'll be able to be competitive. So,
man.
But we're going to sideline. We're going to root for Greg every week. We're not playing Greg.
Yeah. I have to win this year.
I can't imagine you losing.
Listen, McCaffrey got through the preseason and didn't get hurt. That's a good sign. You're already well ahead of where you've been.
You're halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I really need to win. There's a decent payout for this too.
Yeah,
it's $100 a person to get in.
Yeah.
So
that's a good payout.
I
remember when Christian McCaffrey came up. He came up pretty early in our draft, and Greg had told me on the car ride over that he was going to go for him, right? And all I can think about is anytime these guys are bidding up, I'm like, you're not going to get it. It's like Greg has so much money, and this is the guy he really wants. I'm like, it's not going to happen, guys. Like,
it's not going to.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't even pay that much for him.
No, you didn't.
I think I paid 4.5 million. I'm trying to look here.
Nothing.
Yeah, I paid 4.5 million for him, which is a lot. Like, he's still probably the top 10 in the league, but still, who cares?
I'm paying Ezekiel Elliott 5.5. So
Jesus. Jesus, you're like the real life Jerry Jones. How
did yours go?
Tell us about yours, Ryan.
Not great.
So I am the commissioner of my league. It's the 16th year.
Nice.
16th year of our league.
Good.
So as commissioner, it's always hard for me to draft a team because I'm always trying to make sure like everything else happens. Like, it's a good experience and, stuff's laid out properly. It's always an in-person draft. So there's quite a lot of logistics that have to be figured out. So I always find myself like drafting my team as the second priority. So, but I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I've got Justin Herbert.
Awesome.
I've got Trey Lance. It's a 2-quarterback league.
Well, if you have Justin,
okay,
you have to start 2 quarterbacks.
You have to start 2 quarterbacks.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So Trey Lance is my second quarterback. Chubb, Aaron Jones, Elijah Mitchell,
good.
Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Dawson Knox, and a bunch of other people. So I'm happy with it. However, 2 years in a row now, something bad has happened to my team immediately. Last year, I drafted J.K. Dobbins at about 2:30 p.m. as we were watching the Ravens game. Ravens preseason game, I think.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL like 3 rounds later. Draft was still going, and I lost the guy for the season.
Oh, God.
So that was bad. And then this year, we complete the draft at about, I would say, 7:30. My guy, Brian Robinson gets shot.
Damn.
And then
you are bad, especially for running backs. You're horrible luck for these people.
Yeah, that's bad. And then Trey Lance, Jimmy G coming in. That's bad. I think that could be bad.
You want to next year start drafting like more Patriots. Just
can't do
throwing that out there.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
You and your devil magic. Let's put it to work.
2-quarterback is really interesting. It's been our league format for like 14 out of 16 years, and it's impossible to prepare because you never know what's going to happen. Anybody could.
Can you roster more?
You can roster up to 4, I think.
Wow.
So it's very difficult to predict where people are going to land or like where people will fall too.
Yeah.
So,
because I feel like if I did I've never done a 2-quarterback league, but I feel like I would need a third for the bye weeks. Right?
You absolutely need a third.
So how many teams you got? 10?
10.
Okay. So there's literally like 2
every
extra
guys.
Just,
yeah.
Drew Lock is just sitting there on their waiver wire.
No, Drew Lock got picked.
Oh, God.
Drew Lock got picked. Actually, the way the quarterbacks got picked were really weird. Carson Wentz got picked like at the very end of the draft. I'm like, I don't think he's this bad, guys. I think he's better than Drew Lock. What is going on?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard Carson Wentz, people hate him, which I think we talked about that in the last episode.
We did.
Yeah.
He's not liked.
No.
Like as a person. Not just a football player.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are we ready to talk playoffs?
So
playoffs.
I want to needle Greg a little bit. Just one more here. So
more
Greg,
again.
Your Titans cut your punter, your longtime punter, who is beloved. Okay.
Yeah.
He coming to Buffalo. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's from Buffalo.
Well, might as well. What else you got?
So yeah,
probably hasn't art anybody this week.
So I feel like they just gave him a questionnaire, and there's just like there's 2 questions on the questionnaire. Number 1 is what is your name, and number 2 is like just take your time with number 2. Just read it over real close. and then send it back to it. And as long as number 2, the answer is no, great. What number do you want? That's question 3. So just doing a little bit more work than we usually do on punters, but hope you're on the up and up. So.
I think it was Mike Florio. I was watching it talk about the punter situation, and he goes, somebody had said like we're praising the Bills for cutting the punter or whatever, and he's like, it's a punter, guy.
I know, right? If it was Josh Allen,
it's a punter. If it was Josh Allen, this would be a big deal. Yeah, right. It's a punter. They don't care.
It's easy to kick to kick a 6-round rookie punter who never technically made the team off the team. That
there's like 100 other punters kicking around.
Right. So
yeah.
Anyway.
All right, let's talk about our playoffs. Good old Jim Mora.
Playoffs. Jim's great.
I think in the off season when we do some like we pop up here and there, we need to do like a coach flip out podcast.
Oh yeah,
we just go over
Green.
Crown their asses and crown them. Yeah. Top 10 coach
great
flip outs.
Yeah.
Is that we are who they thought they were? Is that the same one?
Yeah.
We are who they thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Oh God. I think there was an Oregon State coach who had a really hilarious it's like I'm a man.
Oh, that's a good
I'm 40.
One.
Yeah, right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
One.
Who was
that's
that?
a good one though because he's like actually being valiant. With that.
Right.
I'm a man.
People going after his kids.
Yeah,
he's like, stop fucking with the kids. You want to go after somebody, you come after me.
Right, which is great, but the way he delivered it, hysterical.
I'm 40.
Like, 40.
I want that to be played on repeat at my 40th birthday party.
There you go.
Oh my God. Done and done.
That speech. Okay, playoff predictions. So when we talked about making our playoff predictions, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to do this and this and this. And I'm like, wait, we did over-unders. I kind of have to follow that format. I can't just like change all my picks.
Oh, I can.
I have to go back and figure out who I picked to make the playoffs. This is going to be tricky. All right. Who wants to go first? I don't know if we want to just give 7 and 7 and then who's in the championship. How do you want to do this?
We can just do by like conference. Like who's your give me your division winners and then your 3 wild card.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Mark, you start. First. You start.
All right. So in order from 1 seed to 4, I have the Bills at the 1 seed. Okay. I know. Okay. I am a Bills fan, but I truly believe on paper they have the most complete team. We'll see. Games aren't played on paper. Number 2, I have the Ravens. Okay. I am a fan as long as Lamar stays healthy, even because I actually, by the way, this contract situation, I'm not sure it's going to get resolved. He gave week 1 as a deadline.
It's not getting resolved.
I don't think it's going to get resolved. But if that is something of a motivator, I would imagine. If the Ravens aren't going to give you a thing, now at this point, you're playing for everybody. You're playing for Miami. You're playing for, I guess, Seattle. You're playing for all those teams that need like quarterbacks. This is your chance. So I think that motivates and pushes them farther. Ravens always got a good D. I like the running game with Dobbins, as long as he's not like, Ryan Murray'd and just like, killed in the preseason.
I did not draft him, so he's going to be good.
Right. He'll be fine. So I have them at number 2. So I have them winning the North. I have the Colts winning the South. And the reason I think the Matt Ryan in that dome, I think is going to be very good. Colts have a great defense. I think people are going to have trouble playing them in that dome. I keep going back to that, but like when they're in that nice, safe environment, they're a very good team. And then I have the Chargers winning the AFC West over the Chiefs. And I have the Chiefs as my number 5. I have them, they're neck and neck. I'm thinking like last week of the year that gets decided. That's going to be just such a clusterfuck though. Everybody's just going to beat the shit out of each other in that division. So that's why I kind of have them at number 4, because I feel like their record's going to be a lot lower than teams who can beat up on kind of lower tier teams in their own division. So I got them and Chiefs at number 5. I have the Dolphins at number 6. They're growing on me. I kind of like that everybody hates Tua. And I hope he uses that to his advantage. Like even his own team doesn't want him. Like the ownership clearly has tried to replace him like 3 times, and he just keeps going. I kind of like that mentality. So I think they make it at number 6, and then I'm going to go with the Raiders at number 7, which puts 3 AFC West teams.
Wow,
in the playoffs.
I just looked up I'm gonna cut. I'm sorry, jumping in.
No, you're good.
I literally just looked up. Can all 4 teams in a division make the playoffs? Because again, I know I asked this last time. I didn't know if it's statistically possible. I didn't know if there had to be a certain amount of losses. And literally, the first Google search result is: can all 4 AFC West teams make the playoffs?
Yep.
So I think 3 is a perfectly reasonable thing to guess.
And listen, Denver is probably going to be right there. They might finish at 8 and 9 in the conference. I feel like that whole division is just going to be. They're all going to be within like 2 games of each other. It's going to be like 11-6 and then 9 and whatever. So like I feel like they're just all going to be within that muddled mess there. So that's my AFC.
Okay.
All right. I will also do it in the same order. Bills number 1 seed, no doubt. They're the only team of the 32 that I think is a good football team. Like, just when you look at sports teams, sometimes, it's just everywhere else. There's a huge question mark. Is Matt Ryan too old? Is Ryan Tannehill as bad as I think he is? What's up with
that a
Lamar?
question you're asking?
Yeah, that's just in general.
You led it with number 2 with that one,
right?
Is Stafford's arm going to fall off?
Who's Lamar Jackson throwing to? The Chiefs have played almost double what every other team in the last decade have played. Is this all? Every team has a question mark except for the Bills. Their offense, great. Their defense, great. They
punter. They got a question mark there.
Punter is flying there right now from somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Matt McAfee's back.
Yeah.
McAfee.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'm sure. You probably don't lose that skill. If you can punt a ball 60 yards when you're 35, you can do it when you're 45. Like
Ray Guy was doing like little exhibitions and knocking them like 50 yards when he was, and that guy dude's in his 60s, 70s at that point when he was doing that.
Like the only reason you ever change your punter is because you're just bored. It's like when you change the curtains at your house. Like the old ones were fine, but it's time for a new one.
Ooh, pink. Especially
that. I just want everyone to have that punter from the Steelers, who's like 5'6", 300 pounds. He's my hero.
The Jared Lorenzen of punters.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great.
The Pillsbury throw boy.
Yeah.
Throw boy.
I love me some Jared Lorenzen.
Jared Lorenzen.
Poor Jared.
Bills number 1, no doubt.
Okay.
Then I would go Chiefs. I still think they're good. I would go Bengals.
Okay.
I would begrudgingly say the Colts are going to win the AFC South because I just think Ryan Tannehill is shit. Then after that, I think the Broncos definitely make it. I think the Titans make it. That's 7-1's real hard.
Yeah, it really is. I had a difficult time. I had the Titans at 7 up until like a good part of this day. So
I think, Mark said the Ravens are going to win that division. I don't even have them in the playoffs mentally.
No, that's fine. Hey,
but so maybe I'm just not a very good evaluator. I'm putting the Raiders. in the 7th spot.
Wow.
There.
All right.
I think they're a like above average team everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any talent. Like they don't have any Randy Mosses out there, but they have a lot of like, oh yeah, that guy's not bad. And if you put enough of that together, that's a football team.
Okay.
I think it's impressive that the Raiders Greg's right, have assembled this team when they've drafted like dog shit for the last 3 years. I guess they released their first round draft pick from last year today.
Yes.
It's not like last year they just gave up on him.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, and the guy, Mike Mayock was their GM who's been replaced, thank God, because that man just drafted horribly. Like and the fact that he hasn't really set them back that far is impressive to me.
One of my all-time favorite draft moments, and Mark, you're going to actually remember who it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. Is when the Raiders drafted that wide receiver, and this was probably like 06, 07. They drafted that wide receiver, and Mel Kiper didn't even have him in his little book.
It was a safety. It wasn't a receiver. It was a safety. Mitchell, Mike Mitchell, I think his name was. Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
And I thought it was no, I could have sworn it was a wide receiver. Because it was a dude with 3 names, and the Raiders were like, well, he's fast. Yeah, it's just like it was such a terrible pick that they just couldn't even figure out who this person was.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
was I wrong?
Mike Mitchell, he was a safety, 2009, and I'll read you what it says on Wikipedia. So, citation needed. The Oakland Raiders selection of Mitchell was highly scrutinized by the analysis and drew an uproar among fans at Radio City Music Hall. NFL and analyst Mike Mayock, by the way, who becomes the Raiders GM
Wow.
10 years later, graded him in the 7th round, and Mel Kiper Jr. stated that the Raiders could have possibly signed him as an undrafted free agent. His selection echoed Al Davis's pattern of selecting players who are the fastest and typically have performed well at the 40-yard dash.
Jesus Christ.
Right,
so in the first round, the Raiders selected Darius Hayward Bay, a receiver. That's who you're thinking.
Yeah.
that is who. Yes, that is who I was thinking.
Who was
of.
also
was
criticized because he was all he was fast. That's it.
Couldn't catch.
Yeah, could not catch.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Also,
If there was one defining characteristic you wanted in a wide receiver, I feel like catching
That
might be it.
important. That
So
might
when
be
we were-
important.
Like that car's a steal. It's just doesn't know. You can't put tires on it.
when just a real quick story, when we were growing up, Greg, we used to watch the draft together. Greg and I, we would watch, we get together and watch the draft. And I remember when the Titans drafted Pac-Man Jones.
Oh,
Do you remember what you said?
oh
said-
God.
Can we give him back?
And to be fair, Greg was a very accurate statement. Pac-Man had a long career, but I don't think anyone was going to say that it was stellar.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Definitely not worth the aggravation.
Pac-Man. Didn't he wrestle?
Mm-hmm.
He
No.
wrestled, didn't he?
No,
He showed up in TNA, I thought.
he was in TNA. He was
Okay.
not contractually allowed to wrestle. So he just sort of,
Ah.
I forget who he had wrestle for him. I want to say it's LAX, but I don't think that's actually right.
I think it was Ric Flair. All right, it's my turn.
Go ahead.
AFC. First, number 1 seed. I think this is a sweep. Bills, number 1. Number 2 seed, Colts.
Wow.
I agree. I think they're going to run the table with Matt Ryan is going to cut down on the mistakes, which was their Achilles heel last time. And they can basically just coast to a 2nd seed, I think. Number 3, the Chargers. I'm really high on the Chargers, not because I just drafted.
We didn't even pick them. Did
All
you
their
pick them,
guys.
Mark?
I did. I had the Charger. I had them win the
Oh.
division. Yeah.
Chargers win the division. 3 seed. Bengals win their division. 4 seed. Chiefs make it in 5th seed. Broncos make it in 6th seed. And then
Okay. Nice.
crazy swing. Tua and the Dolphins make
There you
it
go.
with their nerd coach who can't lead men. He leads men to the playoffs.
Nerd.
I actually showed this guy. I showed an interview of this guy to my wife, and she's like, "Oh wow, you're right. He is kind of like Greg." There- he does kind of remind me of Greg a little bit.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll take it.
There's somebody on Twitter who posts every time the Dolphins post like a press conference, like tweet with him. They just immediately post the ogre from Revenge of the Nerds screaming nerds every time. It's always like
Mhm.
1 or 2 tweets down, and it's hysterical. I look forward every time.
Fantastic. All right, you want to give us your NFC
So
predictions?
I'm way off, you guys.
What?
Not that
like,
far off.
I feel
You're
like I had
Titans
No, I like
instead of
it. This is
Dolphins.
good.
I didn't say the
Titans
Dolphins.
instead of Dolphins. Raiders instead of Broncos. You guys have the Raiders. I have the Broncos, right?
Yep.
Bang.
I think we were all.
Couple of Greg and I have the Bengals. You have the Ravens.
Yeah,
Mark?
I'm not. You guys are very high.
Everything
on the
else is the
Bengals.
same. We're pretty close.
Okay, all right.
I think that's
Now-
pretty close.
So I'm gonna have
NFC.
to write it down.
When I
NFC.
sat down on the NFC and I took a look, this
Tough.
was hard. This was like after like 3rd seed. I'm like, oh Jesus, this could be anybody. This is a really, really weak conference this year. So number 1, I have the Rams. I have them. They weren't number 1 last year. I think the Bucks were. Oh God, citation needed. But Rams, I have them at number 1. I love the way they're built. Even with Stafford, I think he'll be fine. I don't. I think it might be a problem moving forward in his career, but I think he'll get it through this year. And that elbow will be all right. I got the Bucks at number 2, which I hate, but this is like I was saying, like I looked at these teams. I'm like, who is a complete team in the conference? I kind of got the Rams, Bucks, and then my third, and I'm like, everybody else, you could just mix match them together. So I'm anxious to hear what you guys have to say about this. My third is the Eagles. I'm pretty high on them. I think they are fortunate also to play in the division they're in, because Giants, that's 2 wins, Commanders, that's 2 wins, Cowboys, I think that's 2 wins. So I really think they're going to be, they could have that wrapped up by like Thanksgiving. I think they're in a very easy position here. AFC, my 4th seed, NFC North, Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go over the Packers, Minnesota Vikings. I like the Packers. They are my 5th. Okay. But something about them with Aaron Rodgers, like bitching is like, he's bitching later than usual. Usually he saves all of his bitching for like the early preseason. He Bret Harts it early on and then shuts up when the game starts playing. He is constantly complaining about his receivers, telling them that they have to man up. And that type of it just doesn't fly with me. I don't think they have a great head coach. I think he just kind of rides Aaron Rodgers' coattails. I think without the receivers, we're going to see a little drop off. So I got them at number 5. I still got to make the playoffs, but I got them at 5. Niners, I guess, at 6. I guess. Look, I mean, it's just like I said, this is where I'm struggling because they got a fantastic defense, and that defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. But I am just like completely underwhelmed by this offense. I don't fear it. And then finally, I got the Saints at 7 because I had to pick a 7th seed. And famous Jameis and all of his crab stealing.
The Crab Shack.
Yeah, right.
Good old Crab Shack. All right, Greg, what do you have?
All right, let's see here. Rams number 1.
Oh,
I'm with you there. Bucks number 2, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Jesus.
I know, right? I told you get to like a certain point. It's just it's hard. All these teams have major flaws.
Oh, that's great.
Fuck. It's too good for them. It's too good for so that means it has to be someone in the NFC North.
There you go.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. Vikings?
Yeah, right. Yes. You are going through every emotion I went through earlier today.
Vikings, I guess. Why? I don't know. I like Adam Thielen. They have a running back who's good.
Jefferson's great.
Yeah, I won't lie. I don't know much about the Vikings anymore.
Yeah.
Like I was way
Dante
high on them.
Culpepper still there?
Yeah. He's still hurling balls.
Yeah.
50 yards, 50 touchdowns. What did he have? He had 50 touchdowns that one year, right?
Oh, it was close. He was bombing them.
He
49. Yeah, something like that. It was a lot. Love Dante Culpepper. Yeah, I guess the Vikings, because someone has to win football games in this division. Cowboys 4. I think their defense is possibly the best in the league.
Yeah, it's good.
It's way up there. And their offense is not terrible. So they're gonna win. 5. We can skip past the NFC South.
Nobody makes it.
Nobody makes it.
Right.
Not even the Bucks.
Everyone plays 2 games in this playoff. I'm gonna go crazy here.
Oh, I like it.
5 49ers. That's not the crazy part.
Okay. I was let down there for a second.
Yeah.
6 Cardinals.
Okay.
Wow.
You know, this year's Madden, they say it's a little better than last year's. Maybe Kyler's been boning up.
There's no new Call of Duty this year, so
Right. Yeah, right.
They're putting that on the back burner.
He's ready. Studying
I
that
mean,
4
we can't
hours.
pretend the Cardinals are talented.
They are. Oh my God, they sure are.
They just fell apart. And
Yeah.
you know, if they can win 6 of their first 8, I think they can win enough games to make the playoffs and the rest of it. So even if the wheels fall off, they only have to win half their games at that point.
I mean, the wheels fell off last year and they made the playoffs.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Couldn't have been any worse, and they still made the playoffs.
And then, yeah, I guess, Mark, I'm with you to an extent. The Eagles.
As like a wild card for you?
Yeah, they're like seventh seed. It would be a toss up between the Eagles and the Packers. I think the Packers are kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone wants to play with or for Aaron Rodgers. He's being like a big old whiny bitch, and none of those players are going to make a team anywhere else. So fuck it.
So I always like it for non-wrestling fans who won't get this, but I always compare Aaron Rodgers to Bret Hart. Like something about him where just always finds fault in everybody else except him.
It's never his fault.
It's never his fault, right?
And it's a real shame because I loved Aaron Rodgers early in his career.
Yeah, right.
Like
he had
those
a lot of
first
humility.
maybe 8 years, I thought he was just the best. Like a fun dude. You know, he's making all those fun commercials, all that stuff.
He talked about Game of Thrones all the time.
Right. Like a nice guy who was great at what he did, and he was not Tom Brady. Right. You know, like I loved him. And then he grew his fucking hair out and became Dark Aaron.
Dark Aaron.
Like, you know, like he
started going to Burning Man and
what was Evil Bender's name?
Flexo.
Flexo. Yeah,
he wasn't evil, by the way. That was the greatest gag in that show.
Like Aaron Rodgers bolted on a metal mustache and turned into a giant dick.
I liked Aaron Rodgers early on. Like Greg, you're totally right. I remember when he was in the draft and he was supposed to go number 1. That was the Alex Smith draft, and Alex Smith went number 1. Everyone's like, well, Aaron Rodgers will go like 2 or 3, 4, 7, 8, 10. He fell so far, and ESPN made a huge deal about how nerve-wracking all the money that he's losing, and they zoomed in on him, and he just looked right at the camera and just shrugged like, man, what are you gonna do? like that to me was such a great moment. It's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? It's not like he could make a team pick him. So I loved him at that point, but man, he is just going back to the wrestling analogy. What a heel turn he's taken in the last couple of years.
Jesus.
And you know, it's so funny because literally the exact same thing happened to Brett Favre.
Yeah, right.
Brett Favre was a fucking hero to everybody.
Yeah.
And then late
and he showed his dick to a bunch of people and became a heel.
Turned into his cranky asshole.
Showed his dick to a bunch of people. Hey, check this out.
This will get me to the Vikings.
I don't want that. No.
It's a slideshow.
I was with the Jets, right?
Was it old, Brett? Yeah.
Yeah, he went to the Jets.
Yeah. It was there where he showed his dick.
I went to a football game.
Sturger.
I went to a Jets football game, and the 2 quarterbacks were Ryan Fitzpatrick for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh God,
and
early.
Brett Favre for the New York Jets. What a snapshot of time.
The only Bills game I've ever been to was what a war. JP Osman, whatever, versus Sean Hill.
Oh God.
Of the 49ers.
Oh my God.
Sean Hill versus JP Losman. The game was like 7-3. It was freezing cold. I will tell this story some other day.
Did I ever tell you that real quick? The first game I was ever at was Bills Dolphins. Jim Kelly versus Dan Marino.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like his experience.
9-6. Horrible.
Oh my God. Marshawn Lynch was the only guy who did anything in the game. He was a he was a Bill. All right. Is that everybody? Did you get everybody on the NFC? All right. NFC,
all 5 of them.
I'm cutting 2 out. My NFC is number 1 seed, the Eagles.
Hey, wow. There we go.
I'm going all in on the Eagles. Okay. I think they have the easiest schedule, or one of the easiest schedules. And they're going to coast to a number 1 seed. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but a number 1 seed for the Eagles, because this division or this conference is wide fucking open.
You can say any team, and I would just be like, all right, well, you got a reason, I guess.
All right, number 2, the Bucks. I think they could just sleepwalk to a 2 seed at this point. Number 3, the 49ers. I believe I have a lot of stock in fantasy on the 49ers, so I'm going to believe because of that. I'm going to believe they're going to be the 3 seed. Number 4 seed. This is weird. The Vikings. All 3 of us believe the Vikings are going to win the division there.
I like that.
Yeah.
I just think they're they're very good, right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
sneaky good.
Mm-hmm.
And if they win like 10, 11 games, they could
take
Packers, if the Packers stink, they could take it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right, number 5. I'm gonna go Rams. They make it, but I think Stafford's elbow is gonna give him problems throughout the year. 6, Packers. They're gonna make it. Rodgers is just too good to not make the playoffs in this shit ass fucking conference.
Yeah, that's true.
But not having weapons is going to be a problem. And number 7, Cowboys. Cowboys. All right.
I want to throw in. I want to throw in a 7B for me. Okay.
Oh,
team. I want to throw in a
like
7B.
I couldn't pick 4, and you could pick 8.
I have a team that I really like. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think they're going to be involved in it at the end. Is the Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
There is something.
Oh my god.
Magical about this team that's being built, and I just feel like they're going to be that annoying, like biting at the heels all year. It might not get it in, but this year, but man, I really like the squad.
I'm with you.
I just Jared Goff, really.
I know, but
Goff.
I want chaos.
That would be fun.
If
I
you're gonna
would cheer for that.
We have a boring ass conference. Let's set it on fire. Let's do some weird shit.
You know what? The last time the Lions won a playoff game, you know what year it was?
Wait, let me see if I can guess.
Won a playoff game. Not we're in the playoff.
Won a playoff game?
Won a game in the playoffs.
Okay, my gut is saying 1990.
You are very close.
Yeah.
94?
1991.
Oh, wow.
Was the last time the Lions won a playoff game.
I thought maybe Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson got one in there.
They got to the playoffs, but they didn't win.
Yeah.
That was like the first time,
often, right?
That was the first time since Barry Sanders was there, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think we talked about this on the team by team previews, but the Lions ran Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson to early retirement. These are generational talents that would rather just stop playing than play for the Lions.
That has to be a coincidence, right?
It's crazy.
I mean, they're 25 years apart. Like,
I don't know, man. It's the same family that's owned them. I mean,
right. Do you want to do Super Bowl picks from those playoffs? What's your Super Bowl?
Mark wouldn't dare.
Mark, what's your Super Bowl finale? Your Super Bowl 2 teams.
I got Bills Bucks as the Super Bowl because there's some bias in here. Like I said, I do think the Bills are the best team in the AFC. I think specifically if they get home field advantage, if they get that number 1 seed, they go to the Super Bowl because only one team has beaten them since in the playoffs since started playing at Orchard Park in 1970. They've only lost 1 game in Orchard Park. So I think the home field advantage in January is outstanding in Buffalo. I think they get there. If this is my storybook ending,
yes,
it has to be against Brady.
Yes.
If this is how this happens, this is how it has to end.
Mark, I feel like that's tempting fate too much.
Listen,
it is tempting fate.
I mean, we wouldn't see you for a while.
If he lost that,
I would have to come over with care packages.
I'm going to give you 2 things. If they lose, you won't see me for weeks. If they win, you won't see me for weeks either. So
he's going on a bender.
Is your lovely wife prepared for this?
She is.
I mean, I know what it's like to, help a loved one through a tough time, but if Tom Brady beats the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl somehow, like all those years, those 20 years he was in New England, at least he could stop them at the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Wow. So now at the end of his lifespan,
lifetime he dies. He wins and then dies.
Listen,
I've done it.
The Bills in the Super Bowl are his rosebud.
I wish I could tell you that I wish I could tell you that I hope it's Bills Cardinals or like Bills, Vikings or something like that. That'd be kind of fun, by the way. 2 0-4 Super Bowl teams in the Super Bowl. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to win. That's a tagline. This is if we got to do it, this is how it has to be done. This is the way. So I'm going to say Bills Bucks Bills take it.
Okay, Greg, your Super Bowl prediction is?
Yeah, definitely Bills. I can't get on this Bucks train, dude.
I think we all had him at number 2, though.
Yeah,
We
I
did.
know.
That's
That
weird.
was begrudgingly.
I know, right? Because who else
I
are you
just
gonna pick?
hate them.
Oh, I would love it if he missed the playoffs in his last season.
Trust me.
Oh my God.
I want this
Last
ending,
season,
but I know, right? Until he gets bored.
cart him out in a wheelchair.
Till nobody's paying attention to Poochie.
Yeah.
He was all sad in that press conference. It's
I'm
hard
not on the Bucks.
being
train.
old. Then don't
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
play. You fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going wild here.
Oh.
I don't even know if I picked these.
I was gonna say, I hope it was a team. I hope it wasn't a team you
people
picked.
that aren't in the playoffs for you. Yes.
I'm going wild. All right.
Okay, go wild.
The Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
and the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
That'd be a fun.
I don't know
match.
why. I just get this vibe that's like, this is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
1996 again.
Yeah.
They never played in the Super Bowl.
No, Chris Berman every single year, famously from like 1988 to
Circle the
1995, picked Bills Niners as the Super Bowl, and it never happened. Both
Yeah.
of those teams made it. In
But
those
right,
years.
that was a totally viable thing.
It was very
Totally
normal to
fine.
make
with
that.
Joe
It
pick.
never
Montana and
happened.
then Steve
Yeah.
Young, and it was perfectly reasonable.
Right.
But
Nobody
I'm doing
circles the wagons
I like it.
like the Buffalo Bills.
and we can do a Western theme.
I love it.
You got the caravan heading out gold mining, y'all.
Y'all.
I love it. Oh God. All right.
Where is the Super Bowl this year?
Arizona.
Somewhere. Ugh.
I did not expect that response to Arizona. Whatever.
Ew.
I was ready. Mark,
who
if they
wins?
go to the Super Bowl, you going?
Oh,
Bills?
man.
I don't know.
Oh
I
my
was-
God.
I don't know if I can handle it.
I had tickets in my cart if the Titans made it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Oh.
It would
All right.
have to. I'd have to see how it is. Like it's the long season.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
insane. It's insane.
Oh, I
You
know.
know, where you're literally talking 5K to go see these Super Bowl things. But
I know, but I don't know.
I'd go.
Gotta
with
be
it.
careful. Gotta be careful. Did you pick the Bills? Who'd you pick?
I picked the Bills. Yeah.
All right. All right. All right.
I told
All
you they're the only team I think is a team.
A team. They're a team.
They're a team. They're a
get-
football team.
All right. I'm going to say, God, this NFC. Ugh, so bad.
The thing is, you really can make an argument for anybody other than like the
Any of them.
Bears or
Right.
the Commanders to take to
Bears.
be in the playoffs. You know,
Darnell Mooney.
There's-
Darnell Mooney goes crazy. The Bears make
I
it.
love him. He's a great guy. Number one.
Wowzers. What a shithead.
Texans Bears. The Super Bowl of Greg and Mark. All right, give me the Chargers.
Oh my God.
No,
What?
Chargers.
I would have the Chargers in the I have the Chargers in the AFC Championship game.
Give me the
Oh my
Chargers.
Are we watching
Winning
the same team?
Chargers win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They beat. This is so hard. They beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Okay. We got two
Oh my
two
God.
49ers, two Bills.
That's whack. And it's all my fantasy capital. Is that me ruining my season?
I'm
Right
about to say,
there? I don't know.
fantasy football's over in the playoffs, Ryan. You don't have to
Yeah,
keep
I
rooting
know.
for them. So-
I'm a
I'm
sucker
still
for
doing
that,
it.
too. There's always
Uh.
been a few players that I can't get away from, and I want their teams to succeed.
yeah.
Stephon Diggs is one of those. So I was with him with the Vikings. I'm thrilled he's with the Bills now because I love the Bills.
Mm,
Oh, fuck, man, just knocked my mic very far down my desk.
so thrilled.
Yes. Look at this shit.
So aroused.
Brandon
Stephon Diggs.
Marshall was one of those people. I
Yeah,
love Brandon
okay.
Marshall for years. Santana Moss, another one of those guys.
Yeah.
I just
Right.
love 'em.
Yeah. I
These are-
remember
these are
that.
Just
Yeah.
like, just huge people that I hang my hat on, and I just hope that their team does well. So the Bills. I love the Bills in general. Growing up in New York,
Sure.
it was the Bills or the Giants, and only idiots like the Giants.
Oh,
So
This actually brings up the topic that I was going to close the show with.
Oh, well, a segue,
So
baby.
you segued perfectly into this.
Yeah.
Is that we all have our favorite teams.
Yep.
But we all have teams that we loved. Like this group of guys. I love these guys, but they're not my team. You have any of those? I'll start.
Sure
so
do.
you can think.
Yeah.
98 Vikings.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
I love that team.
Well, we were just
Randall
talking about
Cunningham,
it, right? Randall Cunningham and
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Chris
Carter. Yep.
Robert Smith.
I think a Reed
John
was
Randall.
there. Yeah.
Jake Reed. I
Yep.
love that team, man. I love watching those guys. I was disappointed when they lost that game.
Yeah.
A lot of the Lions, Barry Sanders teams. I loved all those teams, man. They were never my teams, but I always rooted for Barry Sanders. What do you got?
So it's mostly the same time frame, just because that's when I was the most
it's
into
got to be
football.
that. Yeah.
Same with me.
But the first one was that like mid 2000s Bengals.
Oh,
Like the Carson Palmer Bengals.
Carson Palmer, TJ Hushmanzada,
Yeah.
Chad Johnson,
and also Johnson, who was the running back. It was another
Rudy
Johnson.
Rudy.
Rudy Johnson. I was
Rudy.
because I very frequently played them in Madden, and the running back was a Johnson, the tight end was a Johnson, and the wideout was a Johnson.
The Johnsons.
There was the Johnsons. So I was really high on that team. And then the Eagles in a similar time. Loved Donovan McNabb. I liked when they had wowzers, my brain it's been a long day. Who was that idiot receiver who dropped the ball at the 1 yard line? I fucking love that guy.
Freddie Mitchell.
No, the hands.
Freddie Mitchell.
No.
Not T.O., not Freddie Mitchell.
No, it was a small guy.
You're talking about Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, right.
Ran a punt back or something and dropped it at the 1 yard line.
So like all the way from Donovan McNabb to Deshaun Jackson, like I like Jeremy Maclin and all that. I just have a very special part of my heart for like late 2000s to mid 2010 Eagles.
Okay, Mark, you got any teams that you?
I want to mention this one thing first. So my wife started playing fantasy football about like 6 years ago, and she had never played before, but because of me, she started playing. She won we were in a league with our friends. She won the championship 2 out of the 3 years. The first 2 years she's ever played, because she's just cold. She does. There's no bias in her. Like it gets to like round 7, and I start looking for a bill. Like she is just like, nope. Here's the stats, and here's who I'm going with, and it's clinical. So, but because of that, out of those years, her quarterback was Russell Wilson. And to this day, she loves anything Russell Wilson does. Really, really big fan. She also hates Todd Gurley because he kept her from the 3rd championship. So it's funny how you can hate on somebody for something they did in fantasy. But going to your question, Ryan, the greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams of the late 90s, early 2000s. I know it's a sore spot. I know it's a sore spot. But in particular, though, Torrey Holt, Orlando Pace, the Kurt Warner story is to me one of the most amazing stories that ever happened in football. Dude, 4th string, bounced from all these different practice squads, arena football. So out of the blue that he did that, and then in that 1 year brought him all the way to and won a Super Bowl. I had so much fun. Marshall Faulk. I had so much fun watching that.
Oz Hakeem.
That's what I was about to say. Oz Zahir Hakeem. Yeah.
I thought he was cool.
And they're
DeMarco Farr, the D lineman,
London Fletcher, and they just had such a great squad.
Dre Bly.
Yep.
I love that group.
That squad. Yep.
Yeah.
Another one for me, Chiefs. I loved because I was a Montana Chiefs fan, but I love that Rich Gannon. I always love Rich Gannon. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Love Rich Gannon. Chiefs and Raiders. Anything Rich Gannon I was in for. And he won the MVP 1 year. He wasn't.
Yeah, right.
He was a backup quarterback who eventually won the NFL MVP.
With the Raiders, right? I think it was right. Yeah, he put up crazy numbers for that era.
That was a fun career there.
Yeah.
I could do this all day, but I'll just drop 2 more.
Give us one. Give us one last one.
This one's sort of obvious. But I liked Peyton Manning's Colts.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Always. With that mobster and
What a weird story.
Yeah, I know. Boy, save that one, Mark. That's
That's on the
crazy
list.
story,
I got
though.
that. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
But yeah, like I like Peyton Manning. I like that whole team. It was nice to see. I liked it, I think, because it was such a contrast to Tom Brady. Like, not that.
You mean likable?
Yeah, there you go.
A good human.
And then, this is a very, very obvious pick that I feel like everyone probably would agree with to an extent.
I mean, I picked Barry Sanders' team, so.
Boy, I love LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those charts.
That 5-year stretch where he was just untouchable.
Yep.
Oh,
great.
I loved watching those games. I loved watching him. And I miss that. I miss insane running backs.
Yeah.
Every running back looks exactly the same.
Can you imagine
you have
having
three different ones? Yeah,
it's a wheel route for.
Can you imagine having LaDainian Tomlinson in fantasy? Like he was in fantasy.
Oh, I had him.
Did you? It must have been incredible. It must have been incredible.
Yeah, it was insane. Yep.
Was that the Tiki Barber year?
No, that was Marshall Falk. That was who. So
this is
what Greg is referencing.
We're talking about fantasy. We'll end on this story. This is an insane one.
I had in our league, which we ran for 20 something years, and I had the number 2 pick, and one of the guy ahead of me who we kind of he just had the first overall pick, and that year it was obvious Marshall Falk was going to go number 1. This was right after his MVP season. He was
not only 2,000 yards from scrimmage.
Yes, it was ridiculous. And then he could catch the ball, he could run the ball. He was just absolutely amazing. So I had going through my roster, and I forgot who I had marked at number 2. And draft rolls up, guys ahead of me. So I'm like, all right, I already had my plan of what I was going to do. And it takes a little longer, right? Like there's the time starts kicking down. This is like a virtual draft. We're on Yahoo, right? And one of the guys in the league goes, man, how long does it take to type in Marshall Falk? Like in the chat. And then he picks Tiki Barber, right? And number 1 overall, who was not even remotely considered.
Not even close.
Right. And there's just this pause in the chat room.
Oh my God.
It's hard to imagine what silence and shock looks like in a chat box. But
you lived it that day.
Yeah. Right. I mean, everyone's just like, what the fuck?
Did that just happen?
Was that a misclick? It's like, what
People
happened?
In that draft have postulated later that I let out this big girly scream.
we pretend like we heard it from miles away.
Anyway, I picked Marshall Falk. I won the league because he once again repeated. It was 99 2000 where he just he had those couple of years in a row where he was just dominant.
It's a Hall of Famer.
Right. Of course he did it again and won me a league. But we to this day, I'll never forget the Tiki Barber over Marshall Falk.
That same league. Somehow that's not even the craziest pick of all time. And we joke about this too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody once picked the Buccaneers defense with their second pick. The first pick was probably Marshall Falk.
What?
And the second pick was Bucks D.
Bucks D. To the point where even in our draft that we just did over the weekend, I think Greg leaned over at me at one point and goes, "Oh, Bucks D." Only I'd get it.
The Bucks D. What year was that? Were they even any good at D?
It was the year they had Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp.
They were the number 1 defense available, but this is a completely from scratch. You could have picked Randy Moss, you could have picked LaDainian Tomlinson, you could have picked Priest Holmes that year.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Real players. You could have picked anybody who wasn't the first pick.
Oh my God. You have to kind of try to fuck up that bad.
Yes. And the thing was the guy didn't know. It's reasonable. He didn't know shit all about fantasy. It was his first year in fantasy football. And when we asked him, we were like, what were you doing? He's like, well, they were the number 1 defense. I figured defense is pretty important. And we're like, I mean, logically, yes, they are an entire
real
half
life
of the game.
Yeah,
not in fantasy.
But in fantasy, you begrudgingly pick them in the last round, not eagerly pick them instead of Priest Holmes.
Literally would have been especially in that era, you literally would have picked running backs 1, 2, and 3. Your first, second, and third rounders would have all been running backs. So.
Yeah.
Good memory.
Oh boy. All right. That's a great place to wrap this one up. You can find us on our other show, TJF Podcast. We just put out our weddings episode.
Good episode.
Yeah, real
Is
funny
it
episode.
Good. Oh man, is it good? I know. I hate to pat myself on the back on that one, but man,
you
it's
should.
fucking funny.
It's-
Oh my god.
Listen, guys, we're in tomato country. Like, I mean, this is
Tomato country.
It's a good joke.
it is a good joke. I went to bat for that.
If you're a part of that lore, you know exactly what we're talking about right now. You know how fucking crazy this episode was. It's just a tentpole episode. It's like the Disney episodes, the Christmas episodes, the wedding episodes. Those are the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you got to check that out. Great place to jump in too.
It's true.
You haven't?
Oh
heard,
yeah, absolutely.
jump in.
You probably recognize like all those episodes. So
right.
this is a good way to kind of listen to us ramble about TGIF shows. So we had a
Yes.
lot of good episodes coming up too.
So many good ones. Game shows is next. So if you're hearing this later, game shows is next. All right. The season begins on September 8th. So I think we're going to come on after that. Is that our plan?
The following Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
Want to do the following
Get a
Tuesday
full
after the season?
Slate
Week
of
one.
games.
Right. Yep.
We can already see how upset I
Week
am.
one. We'll pick week two, figure out what we're doing here.
I forget who the Titans are playing first, but I feel like it's a loss.
Let's look it up. Hold on.
Panthers are playing the Browns. So I think that's a win.
Oh,
I have-
Oh, yes, that's right. Because and that's what a great quote.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Your boy is like, yeah, we're gonna fuck him up.
We're going to fuck them up.
Greg, Titans are playing the Giants, and it's in Tennessee.
That's a
right.
win.
I knew that. That is a win.
That's a win.
That's a win because I was thinking of going to that game.
Oh man.
That's a win.
Yeah, I bought plane tickets to Vegas this week.
Yeah.
And I have like a bunch of points, like air mile points, and the points would cover a third of my trip to Vegas, or the entire first class trip to Nashville for both of us.
Oh my god.
And I was like, shit. I mean, boy, I would really like to go to Titans game. Like it's practically free at that point.
Yeah,
You go
seriously.
you go first class too?
Wow.
I mean, if it's free, but also yes to Vegas, I'm treating myself.
Treat yourself,
Treat
baby.
yourself.
I'm a big
All right.
dude. I'm not like massive, but like I get uncomfortable in my back and everything.
You're a tall guy too. I mean,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
And like the difference between Comfort Plus, which is an extra 4 inches, and first class was like $100.
As a guy with a lot of back issues, I would take that first
Right.
class
Oh,
legroom right
gotcha.
now.
Right.
I would do it.
My comfort trumps money
Yeah.
at this point in my
Yes,
life.
At this point, right.
Getting me on a plane right now would
Like
be,
we are
would not be good.
privileged middle-aged men who value our backs more than $100.
Right.
Yeah.
I spent more than $100 on a pillow.
Right. Yep. I said earlier today, I'd spend a lot of money on just to fix my back at this point.
I
I'd
told you,
trade
I'll-
my PS5 to fix my back.
I'll do it, baby. I'll do it for free. I'll Google that shit ahead of time. I'll watch a YouTube video. We'll be good.
I'll Google it. You'll
Yeah,
be
we'll be
fine.
fine. You'll be
Just what they
fine.
want every chiropractor.
I'll
Yeah.
Google
right.
it.
It's about as reputable as any actual
Oh.
chiropractic credential.
Right. I got you, baby.
All
Yeah.
right. You're probably not that.
I watched a 6-hour video. It's
Yeah.
like when you take your 5-hour course for driving. It's like that, but with backs.
Listen,
With backs.
I was on RedTube earlier today. I watched a whole bunch of massage videos. I got this. I know what I'm doing. So-
Only
All
the
right.
foundation of our lives. All right, this show's over. Pod and Long. Follow us on Twitter at Pod and Long. We do have a YouTube channel where we put these full episodes up if you want to see our faces.
Oh yeah, you gotta
Subscribe
watch that.
on
I should
there.
probably look better.
So
Pod
beautiful.
and
Wait,
Long.
I'll put the
No.
filter back on.
Oh, put it. Yeah.
Put it on. Put it on.
Yeah.
Put it
Greg
on.
discovered a video filter that makes it look sexy.
Oh,
my
Oh,
God.
look
Yeah,
at
there
Oh,
you go.
all right. This is what you're missing. You're missing
I look
this.
like I'm a 12-year-old.
You're missing
yeah.
these reactions. There's mine.
Oh.
You're missing that if you're not.
I looked for an eggplant earlier.
That's exactly what I was
Oh,
going
I found
for.
it! I found it!
Yay!
Oh, Dick's always coming to our stratosphere. All right,
I wish I could
that's it.
spam that.
Just turn it on and off.
A full screen of eggplants. All right. All right, we're done. Peace out. Check us out. We'll see you after week 1.
Goodbye.
Enjoy the games. Bye.